then being an entrepreneur is definitely not steady.
Hello and welcome to On The Spot with OPPO, where we connect you with inspiring entrepreneurs and innovators making their mark. And we're recording this series in our exclusive Finance Club event in Bali, where we have our guest, Putu Wiranatha.
Thanks, guys. Happy to be here.
Welcome.
Pleasure is all mine.
And would you mind sharing with our viewers who you are and what you do?
Hey guys, my name is Putu. I'm from Bali, here in Indonesia, and yeah, I'm the founder of Kura Kura Beer. We're a craft brewery here based in Indonesia. We're one of the first craft breweries, currently the market leader here in Indonesia.
Before we dive into the main topic, how are you enjoying your Finex 8 Pro?
My Finex 8 Pro is going pretty well, man. It's a pretty slick piece of equipment. You know, it's good phone. Great camera.
I mean, you're into food and beverage, so I'm sure you get a lot of good snacks.
Yeah, I'm a massive foodie. My camera roll is just full of food pics.
Yeah, you're the only local among the Finance Club members this time. You know, how does it make you feel? Does it make you feel like you're the host of the party?
Yeah, I love showing people around Bali.
Yeah.
But no, it's great to be considered as part of this cool kind of global community that you guys are building. So yeah, I'm happy to be here. And yeah, I do love showing people around Bali. I think Balinese people have like a hospitality ingrained into them. And I think that's probably why we're such a big hub for tourism.
Yeah. Okay. And what inspired you to start Kura Kura, your craft beer brand?
Growing up, I've always been really into food and drink. You know, I grew up in a hospitality family. My family owned restaurants and stuff like that. And I've always been a massive foodie. And when I was in university in Australia, I lived around the corner from a craft brewery, and I would always go there. And I really fell in love with craft beer. And not only that, I really saw the massive rise in craft beer in Australia. You know, when I first moved to Australia, craft beer was this pretty unknown thing. And then, 10 years later, when I finally finished my university degree and moved back to Indonesia, it was like pretty popular. It was everywhere. And I thought that was a really great business opportunity. But not only that, I mean, I love the product as well. You know, every time I would come home back to Bali after a break, I would always want these kind of beers that you couldn't find in Bali. So I just decided to build a brewery and make them myself.
Yeah, it's like it's something that you enjoy and you want to bring this back to your home, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very good. Yeah, that's what I would do as well.
Yeah.
And for our viewers who don't really not very familiar with craft beer, give us your best elevator pitch.
Sure. I guess craft beer is just made with better ingredients. It tastes better, and there's a lot more variety. It's usually made on a much smaller scale, much more artisanal. There's much more of a human touch to it. And yeah, that's why I love it, and that's why so many people are kind of switching over to drinking craft beer as well as normal beer. And yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your pitch got me.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
Sweet.
And you're launching a craft beer brand in Bali, Kura Kura.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges you faced, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, I mean, starting a business that, again, I loved the product, and I knew quite a lot about the product from a customer standpoint. Before deciding I was going to start this business, I didn't know anything about manufacturing or building a factory or how to get the licensing in Indonesia, all that kind of thing. So there were so many different challenges. That would be like a 2-hour podcast to go through every challenge and everything I had to learn and overcome to get to where we are today. But I think the overarching message of being an entrepreneur is just, I suppose, having a goal and a vision and just figuring out all the steps along the way and how to get there, because I think whenever you try to accomplish something, you're always going to have problems, and you're always going to see things that you've never seen before, And the whole point is that you have to like bring in people with expertise or figure it out yourself and just keep going. And then, don't give up and
Wow.
keep moving forward.
That makes a lot of sense. So when you say like you have to bring in like expertise, it's a lot of like local expertise.
And we hired people that knew how to design a factory, and we had to hire marketing people, and the whole thing. And I learned so much about starting a business from starting my own business. Since then, we've launched new products, and I have a few other businesses that I'm working on at the moment. So, it was a really difficult journey, but I don't know if difficult was the right word. It was challenging. But it was challenging in a way that I really enjoyed. You know, I really like learning new things.
As of this point, do you feel like you're there yet, or like how far are you to your end game?
I don't think that I think about it in terms of like if I'm there yet or not. I think I have a mindset of like continuous improvement and continuous growth and like wanting to continuously learn. So I don't think, I mean, this is such a cliche, but I really do think it's about the journey and not the destination. You know, I definitely have goals, and when I do reach them, or, you know, with goals that I've had in the past that I did reach, I then, you know, you set a new goal after that.
That sounds like a very fulfilling.
And I enjoy it. I enjoy it for sure. And definitely you got to celebrate the milestones a little bit, but I don't know. For me, like, definitely something I'm super guilty of is like, if we achieve a milestone, like, I don't really celebrate it. I just go on to do the next thing.
I was thinking you'd be doing a lot of like celebrating.
Yeah, I mean, like, I do definitely find time to have fun.
Okay.
But it's not necessarily related to my work. You know, I could be having an amazing time at work and celebrate. I could be having the worst time at work. I'm pretty good at switching off.
Okay, makes sense. You have a switch.
Like, even if things are going really bad at work, I can hang out with my friends and be fine. Like, I can really switch it off.
Wow. It's actually a pretty difficult, I would say, mindset to have.
Yeah.
Nowadays. Yeah.
No, it's difficult. I mean, it's different if I'm like at a party and then I get like a text message about a new problem.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Then that's not easy to switch off. Then I would leave. But if there is an ongoing problem that I've been dealing with already and I understand it and we've figured out a plan, or maybe not yet, but I've like digested it, then I can go off and, you know, do stuff.
You said it
outside
in
of
your
work.
corner.
But then, like, if you're just like having a few beers with your friends and you get a really bad piece of news, then that's pretty bad.
It's like, oh, I forgot to go.
Then I gotta go.
Okay. Yeah. And you mentioned about a lot of like a local expertise. Why do you believe it's important to keep the connection with Balinese culture in your brand identity?
I mean, I think that Bali is a place that has an amazing history and amazing culture, not only in its past, but like the contemporary culture of Bali, its art, its music, all the things that are going on here are really cool. I think Bali is really like a creative hub for Southeast Asia. People from Malaysia, Singapore, Australia, a lot of people come here because they find that the island inspires them and it gives them space and a different energy to create. And I think that as a brand, if we can tap into that, that creates a lot of value for us. And we really like telling those stories.
Yeah, I mean, the Bali vibes, I love it.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that I want these vibes to, you know, transcend to other places in the world.
We want to help tell that story. And
and then this brings me to my next question. Do you like plan to take Kura Kura global?
Yeah, so we already export to Australia and just a little bit to Hong Kong. But yeah, maybe in the future, we might hire an export manager to manage all of that for us, because we have had a lot of inquiries about people wanting to import the beer to their sort of respective countries. But me and my team are definitely much more focused on growing in Bali and Indonesia.
Yeah.
Not only with Kura Kura, but our other products. So we just launched the hard seltzer at the start of the year. That's going really well. And we have a few other products coming up next year that we're really excited about. So yeah.
Any ciders, like a dry cider on your...
Cider? No, we don't have any plans for cider at the moment, but could be a good idea. Yeah.
Line it up on your...
Yeah, all right. Well, I'll put it in. I'll put it in my OPPO
Okay.
for next year.
So nowadays, there's a lot of like uncertainty in a steady job. Hence, people start their own business.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of like our listeners, our viewers, they have like this mindset as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have like any advice to share for people who want to start their own brand, start their own projects?
I mean, first of all, I want to just touch on what you said. I think if you're looking for something steady, then being an entrepreneur is definitely not steady. I think that's like the opposite. I mean, being an entrepreneur, having your own business, especially starting your own business from scratch, this has got a lot of uncertainty to it, but it has a big potential payoff. Not only sort of monetarily, but also like lifestyle wise. You can kind of build your own life however you want, which is great. I mean, but the thing is, you do end up working more, and you end up probably stressing out more if you start your own business. But I think it's worth it. I think I probably couldn't work for someone else. Yeah, but I think if you want to start your own business, I mean, if you're in a position to be able to do that and you're willing to take that risk, I think you should do it. It's pretty hard to justify taking that risk unless, your partner, your wife, your husband, or whoever is going to like pick up the slack if the business doesn't go well. But if you're young, there's really no reason why you shouldn't. Like I tell all my friends, because the thing is, like, even if it fails, right, it still looks, in my opinion, better on a CV to have someone that like tried to start their own business and they gave it like a really good push, and then it didn't work out, and then they went to go get a job somewhere else. Like I, as an employer, would look at that and be like, oh, good, this person has like an entrepreneurial mindset. I think that is what all companies in essence want. They want entrepreneurs working within their business that are continually solving problems and seeing where they can take this thing that you're doing, right?
Explorers.
Yeah, people that take initiative.
And this brings us to the next topic, which is like well-being.
Yeah.
Being in Bali, I think well-being is like a main, like the DNA of Bali, I would say.
Big part of it. Yeah.
What have you learned about yourself through your journey with Kura Kura?
Being able to achieve a good like work-life health balance is super difficult, especially, as someone that sells booze for a living. But yeah, I just think, I wake up every morning and I go to the gym and I usually go for a walk or run on the beach.
Yeah.
And 5 out of 7 days in the week, I try to eat pretty healthy. And I think that works for me, just maintaining a balance like that.
How do you balance like, tech in your current lifestyle? Because, right now, there's a lot of like AI in our lives.
Yeah.
I'm not sure in your industry, but how do you manage like balancing, the tech in your life, since, there's so much, it's like social media.
I think that like
training sometimes.
Like social media can definitely be a big issue for a lot of people if they don't sort of keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people that are scrolling like more than 3 hours a day.
Doom scrolling.
Yeah, it's quite bad. I guess it's hard for me because like marketing any product requires you to sort of be engaged with these platforms because these platforms are essentially like probably where most people's marketing budgets are going towards. Not in my industry. Like our marketing strategy is a lot more like in the supermarket, in the bar, like places of consumption. That's definitely where we spend more of our time and energy. But in general, for people that are selling, any sort of like direct to consumer products, like you kind of have to be online a lot. And it's hard to get away from it, you know?
Yeah.
And like for me also to see what my competitors are doing,
Yeah.
not only here, but around the world to get inspiration. Yeah.
But any tips on how to balance? Because
balance it? Yeah, I think like,
what's your approach?
I mean, one thing I do sometimes is like, for some of the social media apps, I like delete the app on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to go through the browser to use it. So it just like makes it a bit harder. So I don't do it as much.
That makes a lot of sense.
I mean, it's kind of stupid, but it does work. Going back to the whole well-being thing, I think a big part of like this day and age with all the social media and like all this loneliness that we're experiencing, I think it is really important for people to go out and have a drink with their friends, you know? I know that, you know, alcohol isn't the healthiest thing, but in moderation, I think it's fine. But I think what's even more unhealthy is people not seeing their friends for like weeks or months. That, I believe, is far more unhealthy than having a few beers every now and then. And I think there's a lot of evidence to support that for sure. And I think, yeah, if you have a drink every now and then and you get to see your friends and laugh and release a bit of stress, I think that is a very healthy thing to do. So I think that is part of my well-being.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, for me, I'm more of like a catroverted person.
What does that mean?
It's like I'm fine. I regain energy spending time with my cat.
Oh yeah.
Catroverted is like
Catroverted. Okay, yeah.
You're learning a new term today, yeah?
Epic. I'm gonna keep that one.
Yeah.
Catroverted.
Putu, it's been wonderful having you here and learning from your experience. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.